So I am a native New Yorker, although I moved around a fair amount as a kid. And people always want to know why I moved to Montana, and this is why. This is the view from the back of my house, and it is really something. We love it here. One thing I always loved about this state is that clouds in Montana have a lot of character. And it just feels very soothing to me. I work from home, and that's what I'm doing right now. God, I am shiny right now, but it is what it is. Or I should say I'm working right now because I'm clearly talking to you, but I have my AirPods in case I need to jump on a call or my boss calls me. And I have my laptop right here. I have one of those lap desks, which I had told myself I would never do, but it's just easier to work from the couch. We do have an office downstairs, but it's kind of in a far corner of the house, and the dogs can't really comfortably hang out in there, and they are the bosses when you work from home. So I end up accommodating them, and most of the time I end up working from the couch right here or at the kitchen table, which is right over there. And usually while I'm working, I have at least one little buddy. This is Jameson. If you ever hear barking in any of my videos, it is most likely her. She is a rescue, and she does not like strangers, like, at all. And we live on a residential street. You can kind of see out there, there's usually a lot of activity. There is Guinness hanging out. They love hanging out by this window, which is probably why they hate that corner office room downstairs. They would much rather be where they can see what's going on or out in the yard. Jamie actually hangs out in the yard a fair amount during the day, but she loves a good cuddle, so she ends up here a lot. This, by the way, is Lake Moraine in Canada. That is where my husband and I got married. We have it all over our living room. This stained glass in the middle is actually one that we commissioned of Lake Moraine. The ones on the other sides are ones that my husband and I made ourselves. We've been trying to get into stained glass. It's kind of an expensive habit, but we're working on it. So that's kind of a crafty thing we do to fit one of the briefs of this. We finished. That is not a working fireplace, but we made a stained glass of a fire, so it will look kind of functional and useful, and we really like it. I will get a video of it tonight when we have lights behind it that can kind of flicker, and it looks really nice. So just another fun note, while I'm working from home, usually when I'm on the couch, one reason I really like this spot in particular is that it has this table right here where I can have my coffee and a water. I am trying to drink more water and be a responsible human being. It also has some of our pretty little glass on it. Some we've made, some we have purchased, and I always have my book close at hand, ready to go, and my glasses. I actually do wear glasses. I never wear them in the videos because I hate wearing glasses. So I just basically always take them off and forget about them during the day. And but I do actually wear glasses. And right now, I am just starting Ernest Poole's The Harbor. This is that supplemental read for my Pulitzer Prize project. So far, I have only read the foreword, which talks a lot about the book and the context and history in which it was written and the ways in which Ernest Poole has kind of been forgotten by literature over time because he was a socialist writer, and that kind of fell out of fashion during and after World War I. So far, that's interesting. I have been taking notes, which is why I also have a pen handy. I mentioned our stained glass projects earlier. So this is mine. This was my first ever stained glass project. It is, of course, books. I really wanted to play around with geometric shapes and colors and different types of the clear glass. I like the way it turned out. We took a glass blowing class in Seattle. So my husband made that, or actually I think maybe I made this one. I don't remember who made which one. But that is something that we made. This was our second project. It is modeled after our dog Guinness. It's a Welsh Terrier. This one was really hard because all of these pieces in the face are really tiny. But we worked on it together and it came out really nicely. We like it. In that same glass blowing class I mentioned earlier, we made these. My husband made this one. I made this one. We also made some paperweights. This was our foster son's first stained glass project. First project he did really well. I'll show you that fireplace. It's not on. It's too bright right now. But this was a big pain. Lots of curves, lots of pieces. It was difficult for a lot of reasons, but it turned out really nicely. It is lunchtime now, so of course I've taken the dogs outside to the yard, and I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of raining, even though the sun is out. Montana has the weirdest weather. I was talking to my husband before we came out here, and he is in Missoula, and he said it was raining there, and it was sunny here, and now I guess the rain has moved over here. But yeah, Missoula is only about 10, maybe 15 minutes of a drive from where we live, and the weather is usually completely different. But it is what it is. The kids are having fun. Jamie, come say hi. No? She's shy. So the rain has already kind of stopped. I'm here with Guinness, who is a big lapdog, and Jamie is right there. She doesn't like to be left out, but she has to patrol the yard. I try to take whatever lunch I have as time with the kids. I do a lot of reading out here as well. Whenever I can. We have a nice little fire pit. In the summer months, the problem is you do get a lot of mosquitoes in the evening, but it's lovely, isn't it, Guinness? And Guinness is my reading buddy. He hangs out with me, don't you? Don't you? But I got to get back to work, so. Hey, good morning. It is the next day, and I just arrived at the gym. I parked, and the sun isn't coming right at me, so thank goodness I have my visor to protect me. I am not a morning person, so yeah, this is not fun for me, but it's good for me. And I don't know if you remember, a couple of weeks ago in videos I was talking about how we were having plumbing problems in the house. We are still having plumbing problems in the house. We have one functional toilet and no functional showers. But this has been good because it forces me to get up and go to the gym in the morning and work out and make sure I get a shower in before I head back home. Not ideal, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm here. If I get through this, I get to have coffee. That's my reward for myself. I did finish the first 2 chapters of Harbor last night. I was really nervous because when I first started it, on the second page, it was like Ernest Poole stopped everything to be like, hey, you guys might not know the theme of this book, so let me explain the harbor to you. So it was a little bit like, oh, okay, we're going to use a hammer through this book. But what followed after that was actually, it's about the protagonist in his childhood when he is first exposed to the harbor and the dock. And it's actually very charming. Basically, his mother kept him sheltered, almost isolated in their house. And he, in the way that children do, wants to go where he has been forbidden to go. And works to sneak out of the house and makes some other child friends on the dock who teach him about things his mother doesn't want him to know. It's actually very charming and interesting, so that has me really interested to get to the rest of the book. But I got to get inside the gym so I can get this done, go get some coffee, and get to work. There's going to be a lot going on in the house today. We have some people coming to clean. We have a contractor coming to work on the bathroom situation, so maybe we can get that all fixed. So I don't know that I'll be able to record anything again today. We shall see. But either way, I'll talk to you later. All right, it is 2 days later. I am leaving the gym because, you know, this is my life. But I just worked out, took a shower, shaved. I got a haircut on Friday. As expected, Friday I did not have any more time to film, and yesterday we spent the entire day in Helena with my father-in-law. Today I am going into town right now to do some errands, so that this fits that prompt. I gotta get stuff for dinner, and a couple of other things. So let's go. All right, we're here at the grocery store. I'm gonna go in, figure out what I'm gonna do for dinner, and this is kind of my regular Sunday routine. My husband has to work on Sunday, so I spend the morning reading a little bit, try to go to the gym, and then come in, meet him for lunch, get stuff for dinner, and then do whatever other errands I need to do. I was supposed to go to the used bookstore today to try to exchange some stuff for credit, but I forgot those books, so I will not be doing that today. I am tempted to just go to the store anyway, but I don't need to spend any money right now. But I got my grocery bag and my book. I always carry a book with me wherever I'm going. You never know if you're going to have time to read. I was listening to the audiobook of the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman on the way here. If nothing else, I always have my audiobook with me, so that's good. And both books are going well so far. I'm actually really, I was a little irritated by something with the harbor, because it just keeps mentioning the harbor again and again and again, like every other page. But I started thinking of it as kind of like a wave that keeps crashing against the dock. And I think that's helped me a lot. I think that actually is his intent. By the way, one of my favorite things about the town where I live is that no matter where you go, there's a mountain view. It makes me happy. So anyway, I'm gonna go in, meet my husband for lunch, and get the rest of the day going. Never grocery shop while hungry. I want all the things. Ooh. I'm in trouble. Oh yeah. All right, so last errand of the day before I make dinner is that I am walking the dogs. It is a little hot today, so I'm doing them one at a time. Guinness needs a bit of a longer walk. He has a lot more energy. Jamie's 9 years old, so a shorter walk will do for her. But yeah, this is where I live. That is the Bitterroot Valley, or as people here call it, the Bitterroot. It is a wonderful place to walk, a wonderful place to sniff, as Guinness always says. So I did not end up going to book exchange. Just had lunch with my husband, sat down and read a little bit in the store with a cup of coffee. Came back to collect this little guy and take him for a walk, and after this I'll take Jamie for a walk, and we'll see how that goes. But it is hot right now. This would be a perfect day to be in an inner tube floating the river, but my husband had to work, so it is what it is. We'll get there. I am gonna continue walking along with him so we can get to a place where there's some trees and some shade, and I'll see you later, by the way. All right, we're out for Jamie's turn on a walk. She is on the hunt for some rabbits. It's what she does. Our neighborhood gets rabbits, turkeys, deer, squirrels, and they all drive her insane. But anyway, I was wrong. This is not going to be the last chore of the day that I have before I cook dinner, because I have to clean the front windows in the house, and I had completely forgotten about that. She's enjoying some shade. Smart girl. By the way, somebody had commented on one of my videos not that long ago that they wanted to see more of one of the dogs. If you would like to see more of the dogs, you can always follow me on Instagram, because I post a lot of dog photos there. The link is always down below. And she is really pulling, so I am, she must see something. So I'm gonna go and finish this. With me, just hanging out, time for a BookTube check-in. So I have been really busy with like work and stuff going on with the house and general foster parent life. So I have not done a whole lot of reading in the last few days, and I have not watched a whole lot of BookTube. I feel like a horrible person, because I don't like being, I don't want to be that BookTuber who posts stuff but doesn't engage in other people's. So I have so many videos and channels that I need to catch up on. But the good news is Eric Carl Anderson did his Booker Prize long list reaction video, and I love it. I have actually watched it twice. I just watched it for the second time. So it's so good. I almost want to delete my Booker long list reaction. I waited until after I posted mine to watch his, and now I've watched it twice in roughly 12 hours. It's so good. But yeah, so I have so many books or videos that I need to catch up on. I am going to try to do that today. Alright guys, well it's been a minute. It is now August actually, so we've jumped ahead kind of significantly in time. I have just been busy, but I'm back and we're going to finish up this vlog, and the thing that I'm going to feel accomplished about for that prompt is basically at this point going to be me finishing this reading vlog tag. I am sitting here in the car with the air conditioning on because it is 93 degrees at the moment. God, I hope my dogs are staying cool back at the house. But I also feel accomplished because I had really fallen behind on watching BookTube videos, and I between the latter part of the week and this morning, I really got caught up. I enjoyed a lot of videos, so I feel accomplished about that. I feel like I'm being a responsible, good member of the BookTube community again, and so it is Sunday, so I'm out running errands. I just had husband. I just had lunch with my husband, and I'm out and about in the town running errands. You can actually see I have my book. I'm still reading this. After all the time that has passed, I am still reading The Harbor. I finished some audiobooks and some other things. I am actually listening to the audiobook of The Maid by Stephanie Land, I believe. I think this is going to be a really, really, really good book. It's about her struggles in low-income jobs and on government assistance with a baby, trying to get off, into how she had different plans for her life, and then having a baby really set her back, and being a single mother made it almost impossible for her to get ahead. It is so far very good. If you have ever had struggles with money or know anyone who has, it gets you right here. Like I was just listening to a part where she was talking about Section 8, and she had to talk to somebody who basically just lectured her about wasting things instead of actually helping her. And one of his pieces of advice was save on your energy bill by not preheating your oven. It's like, how is that helpful? Oh my God. So I think this book is gonna be really good. Also gonna make me a little bit angry as well, but you know, I think on some things we need to be angry, because a lot of it is that, like, that's not a long-term solution, not preheating your oven. So, and it seems like that's what a lot of the book is about. And none of these programs are long-term solutions; they're just band-aids. Anyway, you can tell I'm really into it because I'm like emotional talking about it. But I'm going to work and I'm going to finish this up. I'm parked outside the library here in Missoula right now. I have to go in here. I have a book on hold and it hasn't come, and I realized I have a late fine, and I think that's why my hold has not become available. So I got to go take care of this. I have a lot of books that I'm going to be trying to exchange. This bag is full of books that I'm going to try to exchange because I got to make room on my bookshelves. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to stop at my favorite independent bookstore in town as well, and just, you know, then I'll go home, make dinner for my family. Oh, I got to grocery shop too. It never ends. But let's do this. Let's finish this vlog up. All right, guys. I love my library. This is it behind me, but they're actually rebuilding it. We're gonna get a new, bigger library in my town, and that is it. It is going to be next to the library's current location. It's gonna be much bigger, fancier. I'm really excited. By the way, I looked at the used book section when I went in, as I always do, and found 2 books that are part of my Pulitzer Prize project, so I had to get them. This one is a movie tie-in, Ironweed by William Kennedy. I don't usually do movie tie-ins, but it was $1 and it's part of my project, so I got to get it anyway. And my Pulitzer Prize nemesis, John Updike, Rabbit is Rich. This actually is one of his Pulitzer Prize books. So I'm already $2 in the hole, well, plus the 80-cent fine, so working my way up here. All right, Doris, you want foodie images? I am going to give you foodie images. Check these out. So there is a store here in town called Mary's Mountain Cookies, and let me tell you something. If you want to get to my heart, talk to me about cookies, give me cookies, or make breakfast for me, or talk to me about breakfast, because breakfast is my absolute favorite food. Cookies are up there on my favorite thing. Actually, donuts will work in a pinch, and other sweet things. But so Mary's Mountain Cookies, these cookies are like a meal unto themselves. So I got 3 Huckleberry Lemonade cookies. Now, if you don't know what a huckleberry is, it's Jesus magic. It is like a tart blueberry. It is very specific to the region where I live, which is in Missoula, Montana. I believe it's like kind of the Pacific Northwest generally, but really in the mountain area. They go up into Canada as well. I love them.
When I first came to Montana on a vacation, my husband took me for huckleberry lemonade, and it may have been a huckleberry ice cream, actually. And it may have been a contributing factor to me deciding to move here. So that's 3 of the cookies. The other one, bear with me a second. I'm going to open it up and show you, because that one I'm going to eat right now. If food porn is a trigger for you, be warned. This is a s'more cookie, guys. It's a s'more cookie. It's a chocolate chip cookie with toasted marshmallows, topped with a graham cracker, and then extra chocolate. This really is like a meal unto itself. So I'm about to eat this sitting in my car with the air conditioning on, and then I'm gonna run into my favorite independent bookstore in town, which is in this row of shops behind me. So Doris, the things I do for you, and for this tag and BookTube in general, yeah, I'm really suffering for this tag. I will see you later with a bookshelf interlude. Alright, I decided to go for a quick walk to ease the sin of that cookie that I just devoured in the back of my car, in the front seat of my car actually. And I'm walking along the river, which is downtown in Missoula, where I live. You can see the famous M, which is at the top of the hill over the University of Montana. You can hike up to the M. There is an L on this mountain right here. You can hike up to the top of that as well. You get great views of the city if you do either one. This is the river behind me. It cuts through downtown. You can kind of see some river bears having a day in the water. There's some people floating in the river as well. In the opposite direction, there's actually a perfect little, the rock formation creates a perfect wake where people will actually get boogie boards, body boards, and they can actually hold in position for as long as they can. It's really interesting. But it's also really hot, so I'm gonna walk back to the car. And by the way, as I walk back to the car, I was not kidding about that breakfast thing, because it occurs to me that I met my husband in a coffee shop. We met in a coffee shop again the second day and talked for hours, and then we were going to have our first official date, and he suggested that we meet for breakfast. And I'm not kidding, guys, that is when I had my first inkling that he was going to be the one. So, breakfast, it's magic. Okay, so I am not supposed to be buying books right now, especially full price books, but I bought a book. Becoming a Man, Half a Life Story by Paul Monette. This is something that's on my TBR. I believe I mentioned it in my LGBTQ TBR video back in June. It's something that I really want to read, and I'm sure it's something that I am going to want to have on my shelf, given the subject matter. And I haven't seen it in any stores where I live, and yet this store has it. This is why this is my favorite bookstore in town, Shakespeare and Company in Missoula. No affiliation with the one in Paris, as far as I know, or the one in New York City. But, and I feel like, because I love my independent bookstore and they do have this great selection, I feel like I should reward them for that, so I bought it. But I'll talk about this book more when I do my book haul for August, so stay tuned for that. Alright, we are ready to go. Guinness, we did it. We finished the reading vlog tag. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
He just wants me to let him sleep. But yes, I got to pretty much all of the prompts. Yesterday I only really had 2 left, but I talked a lot and went on a bit of an adventure with you. But I did kind of want to use this tag as an excuse to show you a little bit of the area where I live. I know, as somebody who moved here from New York, a lot of people don't really know anything about Montana. It's kind of like this mysterious location. So I did want to use it as an excuse to show you a little bit about my town, my little corner of the world. And yeah, I think it definitely worked for that. So I finally now have the last tag of all, feeling accomplished, because I feel like I've gotten this done. Don't have to worry about it, and Guinness is slowly going back to sleep. Look at him go, you cutie pie. I had never done a vlog before, and so this was totally new for me. Thank you, Doris, for giving me the challenge. I enjoyed it. I think I might try some more. I think I definitely need to try to make sure I finish them within a day or 2 so I don't have such a long lag time in the future, although, hey, it probably works. So yeah, I would definitely try this again. And now the only prompt that is left is an outtake. So I will leave you with the outtake. And just for a little clarification, when I do my videos in my library in front of the bookshelf, this little guy, Guinness, is usually sitting on the floor next to me. And I kind of pet him out of camera range to keep him calm. And when I finish the video, I give him some love as a little reward for having been a good boy. But I don't always remember to stop the camera before I get to that. So I will leave you with that. As always, I will be back. I appreciate your time watching this video, and happy reading. Actually, before we get to the outtake, Jamie wanted to say goodbye too. They each have their own chair in the front window. It's very cute. I will be back, hopefully with some better reading. And until then, I hope you have some happy reading as well.
Oh, my baby boy.
I did hit stop, right? No, I didn't.